Good morning. Welcome to day 69 of the 5 a.m. Squat Club. Now, everybody says that if you want to make progress, make 1% improvement every day. But nobody talks about how to do that. Now, you don't need motivation, you need a system. This is the system. We're going to make 1% improvement in our mental game. We're going to make 1% improvement in our physical game. And then we're going to make 1% improvement towards our goals every day. You don't need to guess about it. You just need to show up, follow along, and I guarantee you will make progress. Press play. Let's go. I'm Adam, and I've been coaching health and fitness for 25 years. And we've made lots of improvement with lots of people, changed lots of lives. But over the last 4 years, with some lockdowns in our province, our country, I stopped making progress. And I came to a point where I was okay with it and started going backwards. Now for my family and for my goals, we're turning it around. So join me, make progress every day. This is the way to do it. So simple, just press play. Format is coming up on the screen here. We're always going to do the same thing so that you don't have to make decisions, right? The simpler it is, the more consistent it is, the more boring your life is, the more you get there. So we're gonna come down here into our paleo squat or paleo chair, and we're gonna do our mental reps so that we prime our mind and we set ourselves up for the day. Then we will prime the body with a warm-up, and then we will fire up the chemistry with our exercise today, which is gonna be some overhead squats and hop double taps. I'll explain what that is in a minute. And then we'll clear the minds and then focus on our most important work for at least an hour today so that you progress towards your goals. If you find this position uncomfortable, grab a counterbalance or hold on to a post or something, but put the feet underneath the heels. Come on down. Find yourself comfortably uncomfortable, but grab onto something. And let's prime the mind with our mental reps. First one is I am responsible. Everything that happens as a result of my decisions is my decision, is my choice. I create what happens with my response. Today I will choose to be patient. This is something I struggle with. I tend to be a little reactive. So I will focus on taking time between stimulus and response. I have all I need to succeed today. This is just a reminder that there's no excuses. There's no reason why you can't start, why you can't make 1% progress today just by pressing play. I can do that every day. I have all I need. I will focus on progress, not perfection. And that's the same idea as you don't need everything to start. You can start now and you can progress because all you care about is taking that next step, getting better, progress over perfection. And the last one is I choose gratitude. And the point here is just there are so many fabulous, fantastic, amazing, incredible things in our lives. But I have had the history of not looking at them. In my past, I have focused on all the negative things. And now, the more I focus on gratitude, notice the things that I'm grateful for, practice thinking about them, the more I notice them and more happiness there is in my life and the less negativity. So I'm going to go through them one more time because repetition is king. I am responsible. Today I choose to be patient. I have all I need to succeed today. I will focus on progress, not perfection. I choose gratitude. Love it. Those are getting more and more real every day. There will be bumps in the road. There will be ups and downs. But if you keep progressing, if you keep aiming for 1% better every day, you're going to get there. Warm-up's coming up on the screen here. It's going to be the same general warm-up. Some knee raises for the hip flexors. Some good mornings, making sure I'm moving just at the hip for the good mornings, right? What I don't want to do is let the background here. I want to just send the hips back, stand and squeeze. I'm going to get some lunges. Those can be supported if you need. I'm gonna get some burpees. You can walk yourself down or jump, up to you. And then just some squats. After that, we'll probably do some arm circles and whatnot for the overhead squat to warm that up. And once again, don't worry, there will be scaling options. This will be accessible to everybody. So today's topic is this whole idea of 1% better. And I think James Clear wrote a book called Atomic Habits. And I think where a lot of this concept comes from, a lot of people talking about it, is from that book. And the idea is, and I think this is pretty simple, and the more you start doing it, the more you notice it, but the principle is that you create these habits, right? Your life will become habit. They're either going to become habits that you choose, right? Just like what we're doing right here. We're creating a habit of getting up early and moving our bodies and making progress on our goals. Or you can let life choose your habits, right? So my habit can become, my family wakes up at this time, and then that causes me wake up. And then the first thing that I do is I check my emails, and then I go and drink coffee, and then I get pulled around by all the things that need my attention. And that'll become a habit. You'll do that consistently over time, and you'll start to do it without even thinking, and it'll become your default. So the point of this Atomic Habits book is that you choose your habits. And it's been a while since I've read it, but generally the idea is habit stacking, is you create one habit and you work. And if you've read the One Thing book, they talk about that being a 66-day process. So you build that habit, and then once that's entrenched, you stack another habit, ideally one that coincides and one that works together with that, and becomes I do this and then I do that, just like this routine. And then over time, your life becomes a system of habits that you've chosen as opposed to ones that have chosen you. And what happens is they're not supposed to be big, game-changing things. Might be doing just one round of the warm-up because we're going long. It just needs to be a little bit. And the point, what I'm learning, is it's not even about the goal, right? I think a lot of us set a goal as I want to get to this place. But the problem with that is we don't get to the place, we do the steps. Do you know what I'm saying? So if I want to, I'm going to give a bad example, but buy a new car. And, the car is X dollars. Excuse me. If I just set the goal of, hey, I'm gonna get or save or make X dollars, then it's empty. Then there's no way. It's just like this. I'm gonna get 1% better, but I don't know how. Therefore, if I set the goal of, I'm gonna put away $10 a day for whatever, 3 years, I don't know. Depends on how expensive that car is. But if you create an action habit, an action step, right? It's not a goal, it's a step to get there. And if you take that step every day, you take that 1% improvement every day, you get there. You take those steps. I'm going to dig into this a whole lot more in the moments of clarity. And I've got some great points there about, delayed gratification, but also the idea that this is your cheat code. And people, I think are, and I think what you'll realize once you start being consistent with this is, especially if you do your homework, like there's no way to not be successful. At least that's the way I'm looking at it. I am making huge progress with this. So more about that in moments of clarity. Let's do a little bit of shoulder warm up here. So we'll throw in PVC. If you've got a broomstick or a PVC pipe, we are going to be going overhead with the barbell. So I would grab it with a nice wide grip. And I'm trying to keep the arms straight to bring them behind me, just opening up the shoulders a little bit. You could also take that behind the head and get some presses. Notice this wider grip. If you haven't done an overhead squat before, you're gonna notice that that's gonna be where you wanna be. So warm this up a little bit and then we'll start talking about today's workout. What we got today, 2 movements as usual. We're gonna alternate for 10 minutes. And if you haven't been here before, the idea is you're gonna work for no more than 30 seconds per minute. So you've always got 30 seconds work, 30 seconds rest. Our 2 movements today are gonna be a jump double tap, and this is basically mimicking a double under with a skipping rope, but I'm not gonna skip in here for various reasons. What I'm gonna do instead is I'm just gonna hop, and every time I hop, once I'm in the air, I'm gonna do 2 taps on my thighs, imagining I was spinning around a skipping rope. So it's gonna look like this. The only problem with this is it's probably gonna wake them up, so I'm gonna try to land softly. If that's not accessible, and you might find that the most challenging part of that is the timing, of getting the 2 while you're in the air. Next option is just jump and tap once. The next option from there is like a supported hop, supported calf raise. Do what's accessible, choose a number that it fits within that 30 seconds. And if your heart rate's getting too jacked up, bring that down a little bit. Movement number 2 is gonna be the overhead squat. So I'm gonna demo it with the stick and then I'll warm it up with the barbell. But in essence, what you wanna do is grab a wide enough grip on here, as I was saying, that you could pass through. Because what you're gonna wanna do is once it's up overhead, you're gonna hinge at the hips, making sure that it stays over your feet, not over your line of your body. And then you're gonna squat down, keeping it over the feet. If it comes forward, it's gonna get heavy and it's gonna fall down. And it's not likely to come backwards, so I won't talk about that. So option number 1 is your stick. And even still, I could pull out the chair. I'm not gonna do it, but you get it, get the idea. Put out the chair, put that overhead, sit on the chair, stand up, or just do a squat. Take out the overhead component of it altogether and just squat to the chair and stand. 30 seconds worth. So I'm gonna start getting this warmed up. You can do the same, especially if you're using some weight. Just gonna get a few behind the neck presses and then a few of these. You could, I find them actually very, very challenging, but you could do an overhead squat with a dumbbell. I'd probably do it single arm, but you may find that that's actually even more challenging than holding both arms overhead with, you know, the PVC or a broomstick or something. It's not feeling super warm this morning yet, but that's generally how it goes at 5 o'clock. It takes a warm-up set or so. Hopefully we're not too behind here. So, setting up weights, getting your water set up. If you have music and you want to play that, that's fine. I don't take any offense to that. It's all stock music that we're using. We'll try that out when we go. And then announcements before we start. This coming Friday, which is, today is what, Tuesday? 3 days away, our first live. So join us 5 a.m. Eastern. Well, 4:45. I'll be here at 1:45. And then subscribe, like, comment. Let's grow this thing. Let's reach more people. Let's help more people improve their lives and reach their goals. Okay. I'm gonna go with the jump double tap first. Maybe aim for 20 or 30. And then the overhead squat I might start with, I don't know, 5 or 6, depending on how it feels. And as usual, I'll kind of turn it up as I go. So if you're not ready, pause the video, get ready. Otherwise, let's do it. 5 a.m. squat club, jump double taps, overhead squats, 30 seconds of movement each, alternating minutes, 10 minutes. Let's go. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, we'll start with 40. That definitely jacks up the calves. And the heart rate should be good. First minute. Now I haven't figured out if I'm gonna clean this or snatch it. I think we'll definitely bang into the mic if I clean it. But try that first set maybe. All right, first set overhead squats. There's 6. It's not bad. I particularly like the overhead squat. It seems like feeling it afterwards. One set down. So shout out to Magenta Branding Canada. New shirts. A few more colors coming in there. Exciting. New wardrobe. I never buy clothes. 3, 2, double tab, saloon. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, calves are on. Bring that down. That was 8. Yeah, it jacks up the heart rate afterwards. You don't notice it until after. Dump double taps. 3, 2. That is pumping up the calves, jacking up the heart rate, and really working my brain. As taps become awkward. Timing becomes very challenging. Excuse me. And after already. Whew. Is that a long warm-up? 12. We're going for it. Maybe should have gone heavier. It's okay. 3 sets down, 2 to go. I don't know if I'm holding my breath during those, but that jacks up the heart rate. Ready, 3, 2, 1. I think that was 50. Counting's hard. Second last set. Squats. Whoa. Roll it down. One more round. That's it. All right, that's it. Great job. Amazing. It's late. Well done. Jack, right? Jack. Can't even talk. Heart rate is jacked up. Walk around, catch your breath. Amazing. I'm gonna keep this short and sweet. I'll get a calf stretch in here. You probably can't see this, but I'm gonna put the front of my foot up on here. I'm just gonna lean towards it. You can do it against the wall or a door frame. I'm just gonna lean into it. So This whole 1% better every day is very realistic. But what happens is we overestimate what we can do in a day, underestimate what we can do in a year. We'll write a massive to-do list for the day, and then because we assume we can get so much done, but then life happens, and we don't do is set a giant to-do list for a year, 3 years, 5 years. And as a result, we struggle through the day and make no progress towards our goals on a regular basis. I mentioned earlier that the compound effect is going to happen. So you can either choose the direction in which you want it to compound, make 1% improvement every day, and by the end of the year be 37 times better. Think about that, right? If you were to invest money and get a 37 times return, you'd always invest there, right? Like that's huge. And that's the thing, is we don't think about what we can do in a year in terms of that 37 times compounding, improving, increasing our results. We just think about how much I can try to do in one day. And remember, switch sides, that compounding, as I mentioned earlier, happens in both directions. So if I start allowing my habits to be chosen by my life, by my, attention grabbing stimuli, then I'm going to compound negatively, right? If my habit that I end up creating, potentially unintentionally, is getting up late and scrolling, the more I do that, the more I compound in that direction, the better I get at scrolling and wasting my time, that I literally get further and further from my goals. So once again, there's so many people out there talking about this idea of getting 1% better every day. And what's super cool here is, like, I'm realizing at this program that I made that I'm starting to take more and more seriously because it's more and more real, that this is the way. What's cool is you're going to make progress in multiple areas of your life all at once. So our mental reps and our focus here before and after the workout are going to improve your mental health by 1%, or your mental game, or your mental clarity. For me, it's mental health, 1% every day. And then the firing up of the body and the priming and the moving is increasing your fitness and your health by 1% at least every day. And then the most important part, and now it's time for your homework, is that this 1 hour that we set aside at the end of this workout before everybody else wakes up to make progress towards your most important work, if you make 1% improvement every day on that, think about this. I started this YouTube channel. If I can improve 37 times by the end of this year, these videos are going to be better. They're going to help more people. Whatever my most important work is, if I can increase my production or my quality or my capacity, all of the above, by 37 times in 1 year, would you take that 1% progress? So get your mind in the idea of take little steps. I don't need to get there today. I don't need to get there tomorrow. But imagine what you can do in a year, 3 years, 5 years. So we'll keep it short. Do your homework. Make that progress. Get that 1% improvement. We've already improved on our mental health and our physical health, but take that 1% towards your goals now. If you have not liked, subscribed, commented, let's get it. What improvements are you seeing already from this program? Let me know down below. Join us July 11th, which is this coming Friday, and every Friday after for a live version of this. And see you tomorrow. Love you guys. Check out the website, 5amsquatclub.com. Join the email list. Let's do this. Let's go. There you go. The rain's done. Beautiful. Have a great day, team. Let's go.